Hi everyone, welcome back to another Ardent Roleplay art stream. I'm Lauren, I'm an illustrator here at Ardent Roleplay. If you're new to Ardent Roleplay, it's an augmented reality app for tabletop role-playing games. You can get the app on the App Store or the Google Play Store. So what I'm doing today is illustrating some Call of Cthulhu themed cards for a new rural themed suit. So what you're seeing on the screen now is a previous only suit that we have currently for Call of Cthulhu theme, and it's a city theme or metro theme. But we also have high fantasy that I've done previously as well. So basically these cards work as AR markers with the Ardent Roleplay app, and as you can see by the videos, the model moves around with the card, and so the app tracks the image on the card to work basically. And tonight I'm working on a card that I started last night in the last stream. This card here. So this is going to be, these are the different card types we have. So this card here I'm thinking will be a civilian card or a suspect card. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see how we go. But yeah, so there's different archetype cards which the GM or the keeper can use to keep track of a session. And yeah, for anyone who hasn't seen my streams previously and have any questions in chat, just throw them at me. Happy to answer. Yeah, so I'll get back into it, I guess. So basically the idea behind this card is that she's going to be a creepy antique stealer kind of person. And I've got this mirror in the background here, which I'm hoping, probably in the color more than in the line work, I'm going to have some kind of reflection that's going to indicate that maybe this lady isn't all that she seems. So where I left off last time was I was adding all these random little items in the background, curious oddities and things. Yeah, so I'll continue working on that, I suppose. Actually did make a list of items off stream because last night I was having trouble thinking of just different items. Also, if you're in chat and you have suggestions, let me know. Gotta put my list here. So tonight I'm hoping, well, I should definitely get to colour at some point during the stream. I'm not sure how long it'll take, but we should be finished with the line work tonight and get into the colour, which is fun. It's fun seeing the image really come to life when I get to the colour stage. Alright. Gotta adjust my brush. Quite huge at the moment. Alright. Notice this hand's a bit messy at the moment, so I'm just gonna clean that up to start off with. Ooh, haven't changed my colours back. So one thing on my list that I thought of is I like the idea of continuing this theme of like body parts. Like they got the jar here that's shaped like a torso. You got the eye there. And I thought maybe it'd be cool to like add like an arm mannequin for like a bracelet or jewelry or something. Or a bust as well could be cool. Still have this frog creature which I really enjoyed drawing last stream, but it is taking up quite a lot of space. Kind of torn if I leave it there or not. So I guess I'll start with this, adding some more things to this bookcase first. What have I got? I have no clocks yet. Antique clocks sound like a thing that an antique dealer would have. Just put it on the top shelf. Alright. Well, there's a clock. Teapot. Or like a genie lamp could be cool, since we're going Cthulhu theme. Also have no real depth to the shelves here yet. I think my plan is to draw the items in and then figure out, and then draw like the lines of the shelves to make it look less flat. I really like the idea of random body part mannequins, so I'm gonna have a go doing like an arm mannequin here. Drawing things too big at the moment. A bit more reasonable. It's almost too big for that wrist, but anyway. Right, because it's meant to be a mannequin. Alright, and we need some sort of jewelry on this. Transparent while I draw on the jewelry. I'm thinking something like some sort of jewelry that like comes around the hand, uses rings. Not sure if this is going to make sense from... So you've got to remember that this is going to be printed smaller than I'm drawing it, so I'm not sure if this is too much detail I'm going in here, but see what it looks like. It's looking less like a hand now, so I'm not sure about that. Yeah, not too sure. I'll leave it for now. Well, what else do I have? Vase. Open tome. Open tome could be cool. Bust with jewelry. Chest. I'll actually put a chest up here, I reckon. Awkward how it's interacting with the bed there. Probably actually just do solid black here. not sure if I want to space out that bird a bit or leave it there 'cause at the moment. I mean, it makes the bird less obvious, so maybe it's actually fun keeping that there just so you notice the bird later. That's like good. I should probably just add some general jars and things, actually. Because your imagination can always imagine creepy things and being in jars. So let's put some jars up here. Oh, getting that shape right. One idea I had was adding something that related to a ship or something, either a painting or a ship in a bottle or an actual model ship, just to give that connection to Lovecraft and how he had like fear of water, and a lot of the stories he made stemmed from that, so could be a cool little Easter egg. So should I do that in a painting, or should I do that? I wonder if there's a point where there's too many things going on in the background. Alright, let's try doing a jar. Bottle, actually. A ship in a bottle situation. There we go. Stand or something. Okay, but this bottle's a little bit weird. I just redraw that bit. Not sure if that's much better, but can't seem to get the curve the right being symmetrical. And it's still not symmetrical, but that's great. More jars, Eric. We want some varying sizes here, so I'm going to make a little smaller container, be like a perfume bottle or something. I want a picture frame leaning up against the wall here. I haven't actually looked at what it looks like with the border for a while. This is just a example border that I took from the previous suit, so the border will look different. The end result. Yeah, I like that for that. Probably put the details of what's actually in that image, in that frame. I'll do that in color, I think, rather than drawing it in with line. What else can we do? Teapot. I like the idea of a teapot. Seems innocent enough. having the shelves curved like this. You weren't here last stream. It's intentional having the fisheye lens kind of view going on, but it does throw me off a bit with drawing these things on these shelves. It's like, should they be leaning a bit with the shelf or not? Let's see what this looks like. It's a very round teapot. Kind of feel like it would be fun having something come out of here, so I'm just gonna give this a go. Yeah, that's a bit. Yeah, we'll run with it for now. Alright. Snout's a little bit funny. Maybe I'm just drawing the snout wrong because I don't usually use one of these myself. Works. Ready. What else? I guess I could just keep adding more vessels. Already a number of interesting things going on. Not sure what these are. Some things in some sacks or something. Bags. Add another frame up here, I think. wondering if we put something in this space here or not. This lampshade's annoying me a little bit. I want things to be a little bit wonky, but how it interacts with this border is a little bit strange. Even though the border will be a bit different. But, this line here is just curving out a little bit too far. For some reason, I want to add a fork here or something. Or a rake. I don't know if that was drawn very well. I don't hate it, but I think I can draw it better. Not really looking very threatening. It's not very spiky looking. Oh. Already a lot to look at in this image. I'm gonna quickly see what a box looks like under this table here. I was planning to do this before we put the lamp in, but I'm not sure if it's gonna work now or not. Give it a go. I just want to break up this floor line a bit. Alright. I'm trying to figure out what I want in this space here, because this space here is whatever I put here has a high potential of kind of interfering with their head a bit. Might be a good idea to do something more simple there. Just put a box there for now. Another box. Yeah, that works, I think. This is a very odd shop. An odd assortment of things. But that's pretty much what we're going for here. There's my list. A few things on my list that just won't fit, so. I could probably just go with more jars and books at this point. And urns. Urns are fun. Here. Put some books here. This area here is going to be covered by the water anyway. That blue line is where the borderline didn't really come. Oh, actually no, the blue line isn't. This grey line is. The blue line's where I draw as like a bleed area, basically. A little leeway. So yeah, this might most likely in the end result will be covered by the portal. Put books lying down here. really happy with this top book. Might not need anything else there actually. Nice. Yeah, probably not. I want to avoid these jars being too evenly spaced out between looks too neatly posed. I'm going for a little bit of chaos there. Work. Figured out what I want on this bottom shelf yet. Guess I could do boxes, jars. I think it just needs to be a bit simple because, again, I don't want it to interact with the head of this lady too much. I just had the urge to put like a hand reaching out. Yeah, we'll give it a go, but I think it might be a bit too much. Erase this length. Hard to see what's going on. I'm not sure, is that too distracting? It sticks out a bit at the moment because the lines look thinner. as I get to the tail end of this line work, I'll start blocking in some more solid blacks for shadows and things. With the Cthulhu cards, it's really fun. Go to the screen. You'll see in these previous cards that I play with lighting a lot. And you got the solid black, and then you got the negative line work, where I raise for the lines instead. And yeah, so I play with that a lot with these cards, and it's really fun. So we want to bring that into this one as well. And as you can see, I started doing that with the hand here and some of this area here. We might actually be at the point where we want to do that more. I haven't done a whole lot with the foreground yet, and that will definitely have a lot more blacks in it because yeah, I want to make the foreground much darker. Alright, let's start bringing some of this black in. So yeah, like creating layers at the very top. Okay. Alright, let's go for it. is a risk here that me putting so much black in the background, I'm going to bring the background forward into the foreground, is unfortunate. Because we don't want that. We want this lady to really look like she's in your face. That is tricky. I think what I should be doing is actually doing the foreground dark shadows first, because then I'll have a better idea how much I put in the background. So I might just have to do the shadows in the color just so that sets back. Ooh, hello. Alright. Yeah, let's do that. Let's work on the foreground a bit. Ooh, actually, before I do that, I need to kind of settle on where I want my light sources to come from. I'm just going to do this real quick. So I was thinking of a light source off camera over here somewhere. It's almost tempted to make it like a strange color as well, like green or something. So that will be shining on her face, on this side of her face a bit. It means this will be lit up a bit and then casting a shadow in that direction. But we also have this lamp here. In my mind, is like one of those lanterns that don't do much. Those lamps that don't do much, and they're just, because the shade is so dark, it's just ambient lighting. And like that would be like a warm light, and that would only just give a little bit of a highlight because it's behind her. Is what I'm thinking anyway. So I think that works. I won't know if my idea of having different coloured light will work exactly yet. But I'm thinking if I choose like a different colour light over in this area, maybe a green, spooky green light. I think that's kind of cool. I'm going to do like highlight on the hand too. Cool. Leave that up while I do hard shadows now. In some instances when I do these hard shadows, I keep them on a separate layer to the rest of the line work when I bring it back into to do the colour, because then I can just eliminate the hard shadows if I decide that it's a bit too much. And that does happen quite a bit, so I'll be drawing all these in black, and then I'll keep it on a separate layer to the rest of the line work. Start the colour. I'm not sure if I should put something in this jar and make it like see-through. There's definitely an opportunity to put something there, and I probably should think about doing something cooler. I'm actually gonna make this line here, the shelf line, a bit thicker, because I really want that to sit forward. Back to the shadows. So this is quite conservative, really. Shadows I'm doing here right now. Because in my mind, this is really dark. It'd be cool if we could do something with like wood greens or something. And so a bunch of that would actually be covered by water anyway. I'll bring this over a bit more. There's this space here, which I'm not sure if I should fill with anything or not. I could put a rat with a human face. But it sounds like a lot of detail, but I know that's a creature in the Cthulhu mythos. That's real tempting. Alright. Well, it's always worth trying these things, so... I feel like I've shoved a lot of strange things in this one illustration. Looking like a strange human face koala at the moment. Which I think is also the description of a different Cthulhu mythos cat creature. Yeah, this is looking a little bit silly. Although, how do you draw a rat with a human face without it looking a little bit silly? Especially when it's so small. For those who didn't join us last time, I can't. One of the restrictions with drawing for AR markers is that if I draw my lines too thin, there is more of a risk that the camera blur for the app will basically blur out the thin lines of the card. So I have to basically be a bit careful with how thin my lines are. I can draw thin lines, I just can't expect them to track the points in that particular area. If I do, I have to make sure that there's plenty of other points if I did want to use really thin lines. Well, is that unsettling or just strange in a funny way? I think these creatures are called rat things in the Cthulhu mythos. And I think they're supposed to be like human souls that are captured in a rat form. I'm not sure. Well, I don't know. I think that kind of works. Sufficiently creepy. Right? Little bonus. I'm not sure if I should draw something else, like a little detail on the floor or something, just so it's not floating there. I would say that it'd be like floorboards. I feel like I've been putting a lot more detail in these Cthulhu cards than the high fantasy, and I think part of the reason is because it's just, given the whole genre and theme is horror and creepy things, it's too good of an opportunity to add just like creepy little details. I'd not do. Alright. or unsure about those lines. I don't think we need them on the side. The light glowing them. Oh, but then that looks unbalanced. Alright, I'll leave them in for now. I'll actually move them up with the dark shadows, because these lines are something that may or may not be needed after I do the colour. I feel like there needs to be some sort of detail in this. I'm not sure exactly what though. But it does look like she's reaching for that jar, so if I can think of something cool. It'd be nice if we could push this shadow on this jar as well. Alright, and now I think we will continue some of the dark shadows back here, which we may or may not take out after, see how colour goes. Okay. I haven't actually touched the lady's face in a while with shadows, so I might get that. Okay, so I want the light source to come from here, so the shadow's going to be kind of going this direction. I also have to be mindful that there's another light source over here. Okay, I'm going to go really heavy with the shadows on my face for now and redact some bits. Probably. Because realistically, this side of her face should be pretty dark if there's a light source just in front of her on the side here. But I'm not too convinced that it's going to look good doing these hard shadows, so we'll see what it looks like. We can always take things away. So I'm pretty much blocking this in at the moment because I'll come back and erase bits. Lost a mole. That's kind of sad. I lose her mole if I do this negative. Yeah, I'm still not convinced this is going to work. I like the idea of doing negative spacing on her face to like really play with that lighting to get that creepy feel, but I'm not sure. Yeah, not sure about that. Oh, it's a bit Two-Face. Well, I think this is definitely a one that I'll put up with the other hard shadows, and it's a maybe. We'll see how colour looks like. What I have noticed is that I can probably thicken up some of these lines a bit around her face to bring her forward a little bit more. Yeah, that just brings out her face a bit. We're going for time. 10 minutes off for break, or at least the usual break time. I think we're on schedule to have start colour after the break at this point. So I feel like I'm getting close to the point where yeah, I need to see how things go in colour. At least start the colour and then see how I feel about some things. Decided I don't like this line here for some reason. Alright. At this point I'm just pretty much working out where I want emphasis and adjusting my line thickness depending what I want to be emphasized. Yeah. Might make her outline here a bit thicker as well. Actually not sure if it's better. Alright. Well, what I might do is take a quick break, 5 minutes early, but means I'll get into the colour when I come back. Exciting. So alright, I'll see you guys later. 15 minutes.
having something that you can kind of physically see and be like, this is what it is, this is what it looks like, is a very simple way to just keep story flowing.
It's another tool to communicate to the players what's happening.
Imaginations are endless.
Players who are new into the game, being able to describe, what a crypt or a dais or something is.
I believe we're in the presence of a trap.
With this, it's like, oh, this pops right up on my screen and I can see all this stuff and I don't need to tell anyone about it.
That is amazing. That's so good.
Oh yeah, look at that. Dang.
To have that visualization right there. Pretty impressive, yeah.
Having the visuals, it kind of brings it into a cool world.
This is the second time I played D&D. The first time I played, I actually filled in for a guy that couldn't make it to a session. I made his character completely chaotic evil. I could probably help you out of there, but you're gonna have to give me that coin pouch. And killed the entire party I was with, and yeah, I can't really play with those guys anymore. Because my perception is usually pretty high, I can see a lot of things that the other people can't see, which means that I can kind of take advantage of situations a lot easier than I would be able to in just a normal tabletop standard. Like, it'd be very hard to be like, hey guys, I know the Dungeon Master just said I've got all this stuff in the corner, but don't look at it because you characters can't see it.
I believe we're in the presence of a trap.
With this, it's like, oh, this pops right up on my screen and I can see all this stuff and I don't need to tell anyone about it.
Oh, that's
Sean Sunday's player screens, D&D player screens arrived today, and going to do a quick unpack. What have we got? Look at that, nice. Partly what's really good is that they're kind of low, and with that is what I'm actually really looking forward to, seeing how they work together with Ardent Roleplay. And of course they're particularly good because they have a whole bunch of nice useful information on them for players, not just DMs. if the GM puts down a card, you can still have a really good view of what's going on in the space. So you're still getting that 3D view, you've got the screen, it's not in the way, which is what I was really hoping for, but that height is just fantastic. So you've really got a good view of what's going on the table with Ardent Roleplay, using the augmented reality to see what's happening, and you've got this lovely screen to remind you what you're supposed to be doing and how it all works. So thanks, Sean, for these. These are fantastic. I'm really glad we backed your project, and looking forward to having a play with them.
Never played it, never played anything interactive was always on my bucket list. I've always seen it on movies. My friends play it, and I heard that it's like really immersive and that it can last for months.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I couldn't fathom how gameplay works like that. Like tailoring that some people could see certain things and then like other players couldn't. When they said it's all your imagination, I'm like, what? Like anything?
I'm gonna run up to one of them and like hook my bow over its head, draw it back, and like decapitate.
Imagination is endless, and I think having the visuals, it kind of brings it into a cool way.
Having something that you can kind of physically see and be like, this is what it is, this is what it looks like, is a very simple way to just keep story flowing.
It's another tool to communicate to the players what's happening.
Imagination is endless.
Players who are new into the game, being able to describe, what a crypt or a diath or something is.
I believe we're in the presence of a trap.
With this, it's like, oh, this pops right up on my screen, and I can see all this stuff, and I don't need to tell anyone about it.
That is amazing. That's so good.
Oh yeah, look at that. Dang.
To have that visualization right there. Pretty impressive, yeah.
Having the visuals, it kind of brings it into a cool world.
I'm back. Hello everyone. So before we left, wrapping up the line work for this one. So we are good to start with coloring. Before I get to that, I'll just cover some points that are literal points. So because these cards are used for augmented reality markers, when I do the coloring, I have to be a little bit careful that the colors aren't too dark, otherwise it will wash out the black lines, which are mostly used to create the yellow points you see here, which is what the app actually uses to track the card and bring up the AR model. And what I've done, I think I've got this set up. Oh. Yeah, here we go. So I've actually brought my current drawing into Vuforia, which is the software that we use for our augmented reality app. And you can see the points here. So that's what we want. We want points all over the image, dispersed throughout. It will improve the tracking that way. And yeah, so with that, we are good to start coloring. So what I do at this point is I save what I have, and then I save as and make a new file. Now I'm going to flatten a bunch of these layers, but as I mentioned before the break, that I want to keep a bunch of these layers here I want to keep, because these might change once I bring the color in, because at the moment these shadows, I'm a bit unsure about the shadows, particularly in the background, because at the moment having such heavy blackness in the background is bringing back forward and interacting with the foreground a bit. So, but I can't confirm if that'll work or not until I get the color in, basically. So I leave all those layers separate on their own, and then I can flatten all these other layers. I got them, and then I got these layers which are still individual. I can turn them off and on again. And I'll delete these layers which I don't need anymore. And this was my layer where I was playing around. Oh yes, and I got that layer too. Not too keen on that, but I'll leave it there. Alright, so I'm gonna create a bigger group. Pull that line work. And we're good to get into the colour. So because I have to be careful that the colours aren't too dark, I've got a colour guide here, and I've already made sure that these colours aren't too dark so they don't wash out the black lines and eliminate points for AR tracking. So what I like to do straight up in these cases is just like making a background layer that's just one colour, and since there's probably going to be a lot of wood for the floor and the walls and stuff, it's going to make that brown. Straight up, that's brown. Also like doing foreground and background groups of layers for this as well. Especially with this illustration where we want a light source off the edge here that's shining on this area. So that will be illuminating her and bring her forward from the background, and then we have this little light source back here as well. So yeah. Alright. So my main concern with this illustration is at the moment that I don't want the background interfering with the lady too much, and I want her to feel like she's really close to you. So straight up, I'm going to probably use blue or purple at this point. We'll get purple there. Create another layer in background layer. I also use masking layers for this. A neat trick, because then I can change this color later, and I can keep going. Like, actually, just give you an example. What I do is create this mask layer, delete everything, and then I can draw in, and then I can click this and then just put in another color, and it changes that. That's just a really neat way of keeping flexibility. Alright, so what I want to do with this is just basically block in all the background, just to create that definition between foreground and background straight up. I'll include the lantern for this bit. Keep saying lantern instead of lamp. Lamp. Alright. transparency. There's immediately some difference between the foreground and the background there. So, I might bring in the light sources in now, just because then it gives me more of an idea of what I'm working with. So, I want to play around with like a green light off the side here. This is really yellowy green. I'm actually going to bring this basket layer up to the actual group. So what that means is now I can... Oh, actually. Should be in the foreground. Duplicate this masking light, bring it into that. Alright, now it should work. Yes, nice. So I'm gonna play around with like a green general glow the side here first. And I'm going to create a whole subfolder for that lamp as well, since it's a light source. And for that, I'm going to get the orange. I want this lamp to be like a real dull, useless lamp, but enough to give like a nice little highlight side of the face. Cool. Draw the highlights in straight away. Usually I do highlights later on, but kind of fun seeing what this looks like now, so I know how this lighting situation is going to work. Sometimes it can be a bit tricky having two different light sources, especially if one's off the screen. Actually, that's another thing I should point out. I'll quickly go previous cards. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but in some of these cards I have the highlight line right next to the line, the black lines. So I use yellow a lot. So I bring the highlight like right up to the line just to, again, create that contrast with the line. And it helps with the tracking points as well. So that's what I'm doing here as well. So I'm bringing the highlight line right up to the black line, and it just makes sure that black line is going to get picked up. So there'll be some highlights on this hair as well. And I'm also a bit generous with the highlights as well. So in some cases I'm not doing realistic lighting necessarily. I exaggerate the highlights a lot, just purely to improve the tracking, because these need to work as AR markers basically. Alright. See, realistically this light probably wouldn't be bending over to a color, but bringing it over anyway. Alright, cool. Alright, so this green light off to the side here, in my mind I'm picturing it that it's in kind of almost like in line with the shelf, or just in front of the shelf. It's definitely not behind her like the lamp is. So some of these areas that this green glow just won't hit. So what I've done is I've put the green glow in its own subfolder and create its own masking layer, and now I'm going to erase back where those shadows will hit, so the light won't hit these areas. So hey. So there you go. That's given it some shape now. And we'll do the same for this. This looks super clean. Cute. I think that's a good thing. I think this eye would technically be orange. Like, I'm not sure if there would be much green like glow hitting that at all, really. But it would be nice to emphasize the roundness of it using that light. So we'll leave a little bit of glow on that. Clean equals very neat and well done. Nice, thank you. So you could have meant like technical wise, but blinds are very clean for a reason, and that's the high contrast for the tracking. So. Probably do some cool reflections of this glass here too, actually. The contrast here is going to look really stock as well because I haven't put any other colours in yet. this to be an actual gradient. I feel like it's going to be too distracting if it was a hard line like the rest of it. Oh, that's the wrong direction. I want the shadow to be on the bottom. Okay. I might end up doing that for the sleeve as well, but we'll see how I go. Alright, spooky lighting. And after all that, I think we need to actually turn this lighting off now. Because what we're going to do is actually bring in block color for the skin tones and such. I'm going to create a subfolder for the lady. What have I done? Alright. Then make a subfolder and call it sliding. Try to organize my files so I don't get confused, but sometimes I organize them too well and there's like too many folders. Okay. So this is gonna be the skin. At the moment it's just orange, but I can duplicate the layer and play around with the different colors. So. Yeah, it is a really neat trick. Yeah, these are masking layers, and I hadn't. It took me a while to realize that I could do this. But since I discovered that I could just use masking layers and just basically fill in the layer and change the color so easily, I just use it a lot now. It gives so much flexibility. It's particularly useful when I haven't quite worked out the color scheme yet. Because working out the color scheme for these cards can be quite tricky because I can't go too dark or it might wash out the black lines and then they don't track very well for AR. So it can take me a while to like finalize the color scheme. So being able to do the masking layer trick is really handy. Alright, now that I got that, I'm going to duplicate the layer and just make that white and then play with transparencies. Because the base is already brown, so. Could have her like being deathly pale or something. Not sure. See what the lighting looks like. That's pretty pale. not sure if that's right, but I can always change it later, so that's cool. I should decide what clothes and hair and stuff gonna look like. Alright, that's maybe red. I've messed up my layers here. I like that. Try blue for her dress. Shirt. Need that button. Accidentally turning back on the lighting. Alright, I think I want a white collar. See what that looks like. It might just look strange with that green glow we got exposed. Two lines there. This line here. Alright. Patch here. Oop. There we go. Photoshop's doing that thing where it doesn't select the colors properly. Anyone in chat knows why that happens? Let me know. Basically select a color, but then it goes back to this grey color, which is very annoying. Eventually it just fixes itself though. I feel like it might be my keyboard or something. I feel like very frustrating. Oh well, like no colors for me for a little bit until this fixes itself. Oh, almost in the vaccine. We did this white down the bottom there. No? still not letting me pick the colors. Alright, I'm gonna FFE. Memory game. Yeah. So I still haven't worked out if this is a bug with Photoshop or if my keyboard is weird and like keys getting stuck. Alright. What? I'm gonna mask him here. Alright. Sorry, I'm just manually putting in the hex for this color. Alright, I got my yellow. Got it. I only wanted the yellow for a tiny bit too. It was just this chain. I'll use this white layer for eyes as well. I noticed I didn't put any highlights or anything in the eyes, I just made the black going into your soul. Maybe it'll let me choose. And it's letting me pick colors again. Hurrah. I'll make her hair grey for now. But it might be fun to have like a strawberry blonde, not blonde, strawberry, yeah, strawberry blonde, like a reddy colour. Ugh. I forgot to do my masking light. Did I just forget to put this here? I did. I think I'm moving along too quickly and I make mistakes. Alright. I'd agree. With the lighting looks like a bit. Yeah, cool. Add shadows. Question? to soften this hardline shadow. Lighting. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. So let's add shadows to this lighting. This is the only time where I actually use the different layer styles. So for shadows, I like using this purple color and then reducing the opaquity to 40 usually, 40%. And on multiply. And it usually gives a really nice color for shadows. Earlier on when I was doing the line work, I toyed with the idea of doing like really solid black on the face. I think I still got that layer. Yeah, I don't think quite working. But I can do this kind of shadowing with this purple now instead. I think that's much better. it's looking a little bit brighter than I kind of anticipated, but that might actually end up working. I'm not sure. There's definitely a distinction between the background. Although I haven't colored in the background at all yet, so. I guess we'll start blocking in some of the background. I'm still undecided about what colors these front objects will be. You'll get an idea. Okay. Everything that I want like a wood color. Bottle is see-through. I'm actually gonna put this in as well. Dot there. I'm not sure if it's part of the line. Do the same for this shelf. That's the wrong layout. There you go. We could do this box as well. It would. Okay, that's. You collapse some of these. Too many folders going on. And that's our wood. Bring in a yellow. This will be for any like golden materials. Why I didn't draw the top of that. At the line. Just draw the top of that. It's going to be covered anyway by the eventual border that we'll have on, but I haven't actually tried the border on for a while. Not the border that we'll have in the end, but it's good reference. Some of these edges will be color as well. Much faster just blocking out some colors now and then doing the lighting after. Make this frame actually cool. I haven't decided what this little frog guy is gonna material he would be made of. I could have made him gold. No, his frame's gold there. Maybe copper or something. duplicate that. And I'm going to play with the transparency a little bit. That's what it's looking like without the purple. Bring in a white layer, because that skull would be white. What else would be white? Might do the jars on a different layer to this. Just because they'll be a bit translucent. That big frame in the background. I can't remember if I already mentioned this stream, but this here I want to be a mirror, and then it reflects something behind her, like either she's got something coming out of her or some ghostly image or something, just to indicate that maybe she's not all that she seems. Maybe having the gold border around that would be nice, just to bring some more attention to it. Or I could do the opposite and attract less attention to it, and then there's a little options. Let's bring in gray layer. It will probably be gray. I'm gonna go into the line work and actually erase a little bit here. Where I put this. Oop. I still got these layers. Ooh, actually that's the point. Been working with the assumption that I'll keep these dark. Fine, so I haven't coloured in those. Whoopsies. Just looking at that, I think we actually will get rid of those. Like, I think that's a bit too much. I might even have to reduce some of this area here, even. Tricky. I'm going to turn that off so I can actually colour the edges of these areas. We'll work with the assumption that we're not using it. Otherwise I have to go and clean up this later anyway if I decide to take it off. At the moment I'm leaning towards it's too much black and it's drawing the background into the foreground. We don't want that. That was part of that tape. It was meant to be gorgeous. Alright, tidy that about a bit. Tidy this up. Gray. Let's make the frog gray. Could do that. Let's make the frog gray for now. Be like a frog that's been frozen to stone. Fun. Gray as well. Blanket can be great. Or gray for now. This little guy can be grey. all could. Bring in a light blue layer for transparency. Anything that's glass and transparent. Probably do the mirror as well, actually. Some of these jars should be different colors, like that green glass or something. Purple layer should probably actually. Washes out the background a little bit. That means I could bring these up. Another color option instead of the purple I can do is the blue. Works well. Interesting. I could also do a big strip of both. I do blue near the top. As it gets closer to the purple. Might work. We also have the lamp. Kind of wondering if this green light actually looks green enough. Put 2 greens in our color scheme. One might a little bit more eerie if I. Obviously, that doesn't work. Maybe it's a bit too much. That brings a bit more greenness to that green because it's very yellow. Yeah, it's hard to decide if I want that or not. I'll leave it for now. Probably only need a few more different colors in the background and then we might be good. Before I do that though, I'm going to erase some more solid blacks in the background a little bit. As I said before, it's having this too much solid black here is interacting with the, it's bringing this forward into the foreground and we want this lady to really stand out. I keep having second thoughts though. And that's what it looked like with I'm a bit in 2 minds about this because Having this in the background makes the background more interesting, and it feels like it gives the objects more atmosphere or something. Like it has more intrigue, whereas they feel really flat without it. But also it means that the lady is maybe. But I do have this nice lighting that's emphasizing her anyway, so maybe that's not a problem. Not sure. Just keep adding colors and see what happens. Right, where are we at? Having green in the background is actually kind of fun too. Didn't really consider that. Guess it would make sense too. Ooh. That's a little bit sickly. Guess everything's too samey there. But I did have the purple on stuff. For the sake of creating a difference between the foreground and the background, though, I think. I'll keep this. Yeah, I can reduce. Keep it like that. What was it? Yes, removing that. Okay. Some things to be green here. Green could be green. Added a red layer either to this, yep. Be wrapping up in 10 minutes. Do have another stream on Sunday, so I'll probably finish colouring in. But let's try and get in a lot of the block colours in before I go. Awesome. Given his hand to play it. That's a choice. Okay, what would be Ready Brown? Books. Yeah. That wasn't gonna work, I think. I'm still really unsure about these. Like, I miss it when it's not there, but... Alright, I think I'll do a little bit of work. What am I doing for time? For 4 minutes, so... play with this a little bit. This looks like the awful bit. I guess that's something to consider too if I actually just embrace the black. It's 11 o'clock. They're up time. Where is it? That's an interesting place to leave it. Right. We have some things to think about and choices to make here, but continue this next stream, which will be, I believe it's 9 p.m. our time, Australian Eastern Standard, on Sunday. Looking really good, thank you. Yeah, the colours are always fun to do. Brings everything to life. So last time I tried to do this, last stream, the stream broke, so I'll try to do this again. Basically I was just gonna quickly go how you can get the cards if you're interested. If you're interested in using Ardent Roleplay, and you need the cards to do that, or you're interested in buying a deck, head to our website, which is ardentroleplay.com, and go to the cards, or you can just go directly to ardentroleplay.com/cards. And if you're keen to get started with Ardent Roleplay straight away, you can go to this image gallery, which has got a bunch of free cards that you can view, and these will work with Ardent Roleplay. So if you get the app on your phone and you want to try the quick start and you look at these cards, you'll see some cool stuff. Other than that, we sell a deck of cards. It's got its own cool box. You can buy a full deck of fantasy cards. We only have one suit of Cthulhu at the moment. And there's more information about the cards. I didn't cover in this stream, but we got party cards, which are really cool, and you can see the health of your party in AR. And here's some suits. Yeah, and if you click on these links, they'll send you to Drive-Thru, where you can buy some cards professionally printed. So guess that wraps it up, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Having something that you can kind of physically see and be like, this is what it is, this is what it looks like, is a very simple way to just keep story flowing.
It's another tool to communicate to the players what's happening.
Imaginations are endless.
Players who are newer to the game, being able to describe, what a crypt or a diath or something is.
I believe we're in the presence of a trap.
With this, it's like, oh, this pops right up on my screen, and I can see all this stuff. I don't need to tell anyone about it.
That is amazing. That's so good.
Oh yeah, look at that. Dang.
To have that visualization right there. Pretty impressive, yeah.
Having the visuals, it kind of brings it into a cool world.